Hey ladies, it's your girl Truly Inspired Martin, and you're not here by chance. Nah, baby, this is on purpose because what we do here is equip and empower you to become the woman that you desire and deserve. You are here because you are ready to restore, reset, and reclaim your life and increase your emotional intelligence. That won't happen everywhere, but here we make shit happen. So let's get it. Hey ladies, it's your girl Truly Inspired Martin, and baby, we are back and better than ever every Thursday, 7 a.m. Catch us on every podcast platform. And I know you've been out here working on you. I see you, girl, doing what you do. But guess what? The journey continues. So if you are truly ready to go from BS to success, welcome back to the Recrown You podcast. Everybody wants to be, but nobody wants to do. Girl, it's time to be real, raw, and relentless. Everybody wants to be, but nobody wants to do. You know it's time. Recrown you. What's up, ladies? It's your girl, Truly Inspired Martin. Welcome back to another episode of the Recrown You podcast, ladies. It's another week, another day above ground. Let's get a round of applause for GOT, shall we? But I am so excited to have you all back here. So welcome back to my loyalists. Shout out to my baddies. Y'all know who y'all are, because that means that you are loyal and you've been in the building, okay? And for anyone that is new here, welcome to the Recrown You podcast. So you're probably wondering how you got here. It's not by chance. It's always on purpose, right? With purpose. So over here, we empower and equip women to unleash their inner badass by owning their stuff. And that stuff could be trauma, it can be pain, it can be the journey for you. It's so many different things that we go through as women, and it puts a jewel on our crown, right? Every experience, every issue, every pain comes back to that one thing, and that is so dope. Okay, so all we do here is empower and equip. The rest of the work is on you, right? You have to be willing to take the information and put it into what we call implementation, right? That means doing, the act of doing, the act of making sure that the things that you are learning are not falling on deaf ears or staying on the shelf. Like, it's doing what it needs to do for your life. I don't know what kind of week y'all been having. I don't know what kind of year y'all been having, but I know we are winding down to the end of the year. And I think that's kind of dope because it came kind of fast. We don't like that part. We do not like that part. But hey, such is life. We have to take it for what it is, learn from it, make an adjustment today, not waiting for 24, but today on how we're going to proceed. But I want to go ahead and start this episode with a clip, actually. I'm going to do an audio clip from a video I posted on Instagram a while back. But I think that this is really good for someone right now as we are in the holiday season. It can get depressing, it can be stressing, and you can be in a place where you're really just trying to figure things out. You're trying to figure out, are you tapped in or are you tapped out, right? And that's a major thing that we need to talk about. Just touch on it a little bit. So let's go ahead and get this cracking.
I really need you to take some time in this season. I need you to do an assessment of self and understand where you are mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Like, are you completely tapped out with the inability to tap in right now? And understanding where you are takes a whole nother level of self-awareness. And sometimes we want to be tapped in so bad that we don't even take the time to realize that, baby, we are tapped out. So if nothing else reaches you today, I need you to take an assessment of self.
Listen, baby, girls and boys, it's some real stuff out here. You hear me? It is some real stuff out here that we deal with on a regular basis, but we don't take the time to really digest the information, right? To really do a self-assessment. Where am I mentally? How am I feeling? Why do I feel the way that I feel? Why do I feel disconnected from others? Why do I feel disconnected from self? Whatever that overall picture looks like for you, why do you feel the way you do? And I think sometimes we don't really want to sit in that, right? We don't really want to sit in the whys and we call them woe it's me's, and we don't want to sit with that. And when we don't allow ourselves the time, the space, we don't give ourselves the opportunity to deal with whatever it is that we're dealing with. So that video really takes me to a place where it's like, there's nothing more badass than knowing thyself. There's nothing more badass than understanding those emotions, those feelings, those things. There's nothing more badass than that. And a real badass woman like you, because when you land over here on the Recrown You podcast, it's because you are ready to embrace your inner badass, which makes you a baddie, right? So for my baddies, you are real, you are raw, you are relentless, you are resilient, and you are resourceful. You know how to get it done by any means necessary, but you also know how to keep it 100 with yourself, right? You also know how to be so thorough, so open and honest with not only others, but with self. That means that you've taken some kind of assessment of self and you realize that in order for me to get to a place of being resilient or relentless, I have to know that there is an issue that needs to be fixed. And when the issue is fixed, then now I know how to be relentless, how to be, or why I have to be resilient, right? Because there's a hurdle to jump over. And when you're jumping over that hurdle, you realize that a lot of those past and present day things are going to show themselves up again in the future. And by conquering your present day based on your past, you are showing up equipped. And in order for you to be equipped, you got to be self-aware. You got to know what's going on. How can you get ready or stay ready for a fight that you don't even anticipate will ever happen? If you anticipate that fights will never happen, you will never be ready for one when it comes. And it will, right? So when we're talking about standing on business, right? Standing on your truth, standing in your truth, loving on yourself beyond what you see right now. Flaws and all, you are embracing your current situation and you are understanding that me understanding and knowing that I'm not okay is okay. Like, girl, that is okay. You're talking about me. I understand, girl. I understand, right? And in those moments, we have to we got to check ourselves. We got to check on ourselves as well. But you're checking in on self. And you're realizing that, yeah, people say life happens. We got to keep it moving. But how about life happens and we need to take a minute? Life happens. And sometimes that self-assessment period may take a little longer than originally anticipated. There is no instruction manual on how to navigate life when life hits the fan. There is no right or wrong way. There is always steps that are ahead of you that can or may feel ordered. But there's no perfect way to do anything, because I honestly believe that the things that we endure and the things that we go through in life are shaping all of us in a different manner, a different way. That's why so many people have different paths that they take, and they understand things from different angles, because now that person that has learned a lesson in a different arena, and now the other person that's learning in this arena can cross paths and lend knowledge and understandings and teachings to one another, because you have different perspectives. But that all starts with knowing thyself and knowing the situation at hand, so that you can understand how to facilitate it in the future, or how to facilitate it now. But you can understand because there was a reason to pay attention. There was a reason to be aware. There was a reason to take inventory. There was a reason to not only be, but to do the work. And understanding all of that is a full circle moment. It is something that literally propels you into other parts of your life, right? Like into other great things for your life. Like, just because it starts in this center arena does not mean that it doesn't sprout to the left or the right. Plants that are grounded in the right soil and are meant to grow upward, and they grow in the sufficient amount of light, they grow in a healthy environment, you're going to see the fruits of that labor. The roots will be strong. It will sprout correctly. It will bloom accordingly. But it has to be planted on the right soil. And that all comes back to knowing what type of environment are you in. And environment is not just in the physical, it's in the mental, the spiritual, emotional. What foundation are you planting yourself in? That's a part of your self-awareness plan. You have to look around and examine the situation, self-assess your feelings, your emotions, the things that you're dealing with. All of this is full cycle. And a lot of us miss that opportunity because we don't want to look back. Or we act as though every day is ours. Like, we act like we're on borrowed time. So there's no time to play around with yourself. Look at it for what it is and let's deal with it. And your it is different from mine. My it is different from theirs, them. Everybody has an it, a thing that they're overcoming, that they're dealing with. But that literally comes down to so many different aspects. But oh my, is there not freedom and transparency? Is there not joy in understanding thyself? Is there not peace within yourself when you can release what you believe is shackles from others? Release the feel or the want to please the people with the answers that they desire, but release those words from your lips of how you truly feel. And mama, you not being okay is also okay. As long as the next step that you take is a part of the end goal of finding what peace, joy, and happiness looks like for you. If this did nothing else for you today, I hope it at least dared you to bet on you, dared you to open up more to self, dared you to take the journey of self-realization, of self-love, of past trauma that you have not faced. I dare you to go all in for you. I dare you. You deserve that. And until next time, you deserve what you desire. And I believe that for you. But you gotta believe that for yourself. So, we got more episodes coming. The 2024 year is looking real different for the Recrying You podcast. And I hope that y'all are excited as I am, because I think it's time for us to take it up a notch. And I heard you. And I see y'all. And I got you. So, in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to catch y'all next time.
You know it's time.